Hi, this is Well Traveled Life with Jonathan and Jennifer. Today we're in Ketchikan, Alaska.
And it's raining in Ketchikan. Go figure.
We just got off our ship, and this is our second time here in a little over a week. Light rain, which is not unusual for Alaska. So you just dress for the day. We're breezy, probably a little cooler than it was last week. Again, we're just kind of layered.
But we'll see what it looks like at the end of the day, because weather here changes and we could be sunny by the end of the day.
Could be.
Today we'll orient you to Ketchikan and give you an overview of all of the different things there are to do here in town. We're also going to give you a sense of the excursions you can take and how to manage this cruise port. As you exit the boat in Ketchikan, you are right at the center of town, and you've got tons of shops right here. Creek Street is just one block inland. You'll pass the Lumberjack Show and the big sign. Ketchikan is a super accessible town. I don't know that you need an excursion. I think most people like spending a day in the city here, but there's plenty to do if you're looking for excursions.
So for a lot of you folks watching this video, Ketchikan is probably your first stop, maybe your last. It is worth getting off, worth walking around.
Oh, absolutely. Regardless of which berth your ship docks in, there will be tours and guides available when you exit the ship. If you don't want to do the walking, trolleys and duck boats can get you around the city to see all of the sights there. From your ship, you will be able to see the city, and let's talk about some of the things you might want to do while you're here. As I've said, it's walkable, easy to get to everything, and we're going to give you a list of those things to do in Ketchikan City. A good place to start is the Visitor Information Center. Besides tours and transportation, the first thing you're going to find is shopping. Those cool-looking buildings across the street from the port are all shops and malls. I do think Ketchikan might be your shopping city. If you're looking for souvenirs, this is probably the best place to come. And if you're looking for handmade artifacts, then we really urge you to look local and shop local. That's where you're going to find Ketchikan gold. Whether it's fudge, jam, jewelry, soap, knives, carvings, beer, or books, Ketchikan is going to have it. But you're going to have to look for the locally sourced and locally made items. And that is really what's going to make their shopping special here. Look for the signs, meet the employees. You'll know if it's locally owned. And just beyond the shops is the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. This is one of those things that you might want to get tickets for ahead of time, or be flexible about what time of the day you want to go do the show. This is wildly popular and gets a lot of good ratings. If you're looking for men in flannel shirts, or no shirts at all, this might be your excursion. If you're here for a different kind of wildlife, look up. You will find eagles all over Ketchikan. And when we get to Creek Street, we're going to talk about seals and salmon. If museums are more your thing, there are 4 within walking distance of the port. The Southeast Alaska Discovery Center is an interactive museum featuring life-size dioramas of the Tongass National Forest, a rainforest room, and exhibits on regional indigenous cultures. The Tongass Historical Museum, which is right by the Ketchikan Creek and the public library, covers local history from a native summer fish camp to the gold rush era, as well as the timber and salmon canning industries. Dolly's House, located directly on the Creek Street boardwalk, is a bright building preserved from the early 1900s. It's an old brothel that operates as a quirky, specialized museum detailing the town's early red light district era. And the Totem Heritage Center is just a short walk from downtown along the scenic Married Man's Trail, which is the Ketchikan Creek, and it houses one of the world's largest collections of unrestored 19th century totem poles. We took a private tour with Ketchikan Tlingit Tours and really got an inside view. Watch our video on Well Traveled Life with our tour with Lisa, because I think that's worth seeing. If you don't want to walk to the Heritage Center but are interested in totem poles, you will find reproductions of the Chief Keon and the Chief Johnson totem poles in Whale Park and at the entrance to Creek Street. These are in the heart of downtown. Now let's get to the Ketchikan highlight. That is Creek Street.
You may hear Creek Street before you actually see Creek Street. Creek Street is not a street. It is a boardwalk. It's a dock, if you will, that goes along the side of the river, and this is where you're going to see the salmon. So keep an eye out, but we've also seen seals here, so eyes on the water while you're shopping, but don't look for a street, listen for the river. The entrance to Creek Street is just a block inland from the cruise ship port. You'll come up towards Totem Way, and you'll see the Creek Street sign that lets you know you've arrived. It's essentially just a raised boardwalk that goes a block and a half with lots of little shops and houses along the way.
You can enter Creek Street from either direction. You can walk both directions on the boardwalk. This view from the bridge is what I call the end of Creek Street down by Dolly's.
From Creek Street, you really get a sense of how close your ship is to this area. It really is just a block up the road.
While the salmon and the seals will take center stage, keep your eyes out for the wildlife art along the boardwalk.
All right, when we're in Ketchikan, we have to talk salmon. There are 5 kinds of salmon, and they're all known for something different. You can get all 5 of them here in Ketchikan, and if you're looking for salmon, I'd say this is the place to come. We are here in early June. This is not salmon season. That's going to be later. If you were to be here in August, you would see this river absolutely solid with salmon. You would watch them jumping and struggling to get back upstream to the salmon ladder, where they go back to their original mating grounds, lay their eggs, and end their lives. But right now, we're just a little bit too early for that. One of the most iconic Creek Street locations is Dolly's house. Dolly's house is where the gentlemen would go for entertainment during the gold rush. So during the gold rush, Dolly's house was a busy place, and it continues to have women who will greet you and show you around, although you may not get the same services you used to.
Dating back to the early 1900s, Creek Street was the Gold Rush town's designated red light and bootlegging district. Because it was built over the water, rowboats could slip in on the high tides to deliver illicit liquor, and residents could come and go discreetly. Prostitution was outlawed in 1953, and the area was later preserved, eventually earning a spot on the National Register of Historic Places in 2014. This historic pedestrian-only wooden boardwalk is built on pilings over the Ketchikan Creek, and today it features brightly painted 1920s buildings housing local boutiques, galleries, and cafes. There are a few highlights along the Creek Street boardwalk that we'd want to point out. The Cape Fox Lodge funicular is located at the end of Creek Street, and this glass-enclosed funicular railway will take you all the way up the steep hillside to the lodge for panoramic views of the town and the harbor below. One of the most iconic detours is the Married Man's Trail. From the eastern end of Creek Street near the Salmon Walk, going uphill to the Cape Fox Lodge area with about a 0.2 mile walk one way, taking about 15 to 20 minutes because it does have 3 stairwells, a forest path, and some boardwalks. The Married Man's Trail can get really muddy, really wet, or icy depending on the weather, but it offers a beautiful walk with a beautiful view, and passes by the Creek Street Salmon Ladder, so worth seeing if you're there at the right time of the year. This is a hidden wooden boardwalk and staircase leading up the hill, historically used by men discreetly visiting the area's brothels. From one end to the other, Creek Street is a must-do. Won't take you long, but you'll certainly enjoy your time that you've got there. Let's head back out and look at some of the other things around town. Not necessarily within easy walking distance, but not a far drive outside of town, there are a number of places to get to that I think are really worthwhile and will expand your sense of Ketchikan beyond just that city center. Boogie Beach, or Rotary Beach as it's better known, is wonderful at low tide for tide pools and clamming. And just about 9 miles out of downtown Ketchikan is the Whitfield Lake hatchery, and because of the vast numbers of fish that they will release, you also have bears, seals, eagles, and other wildlife. And nearby Herring Cove attracts all kinds of marine life, from herring, jellyfish, seals, and even an occasional whale. In these trees sits a large eagle's nest, and in early June we saw baby eagles there. And of course, their parents who mate for life were all around the area, fishing, protecting, and checking on the kids. And a very quick roadside stop will take you to Rainbow Falls. There's no hike required. It's literally by the side of the road, and such a pretty falls with such beautiful foliage around it. Just 2.5 miles south of town, there's an open-air park which showcases over 20 totem poles and has a tribal house. You can also go and observe native carvers in their traditional carving shed, and this all happens at the Saxman Totem Park. Totem Bight is a state park located about 10 miles north of Ketchikan. It's 11 acres featuring one of the world's largest collections of totem poles and a huge painted clan house. I think we've covered most of the must-sees and must-dos, or things to do in a day. Let's not forget, though, that Ketchikan has an awesome craft brewing scene, and you've got at least 2 breweries in Ketchikan that are worth visiting. Bawden Street Brewing Company is absolutely spectacular. They open at 9 in the morning, and that's not too early for a beer. Bight Brewing is the newest kid on the block, and they are right in the heart of downtown, and they too are brewing up some great beers. To catch our beer tasting, go on over to our Brews and Views channel and watch videos over there. Lots of fun.
So the streets in Ketchikan aren't always roads. You've seen at Creek Street, it's actually like a deck or a boardwalk, and here it's stairwells. This is a mountainous city, and so sometimes the only way to get around is to step up.
If you've been to Ketchikan before, you may want to get out of the city. So let's talk about all of the things you can do around Ketchikan. This may require a guide, a tour, or an excursion, but it'll be worth it.
Ketchikan is a gold rush town, so that's another thing to do here. If you are interested in the gold rush history, the Klondike, this is another great place for that.
Deep sea fishing, wildlife watching, heading up to the Misty Fjords, there's lots to do on the water. Remember, you're on Baranoff Island. One of my favorite events in Ketchikan is snorkeling, but it's probably best to do that with a ship excursion. Or maybe you'd prefer to take to the skies, see Misty Fjords by plane, or head up to a fish hatchery and watch bears. Flight seeing doesn't just get you to great places, it gets you great views along the way.
We have had an early stop. We got here at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're going to leave at noon, so we have a short day here, which kept us from doing some of the bigger excursions we might do. We've spent some time around town. There is no doubt tourism is a huge industry here in Ketchikan. It is 6:30 in the morning, and every shop around me is open for business to accommodate the 6 cruise ships that are going to be in town today. I would say that's a thing here. It has been a long time since we've been here, and it's not pretty darn crowded. So if you are going to do a shore excursion, I'd go ahead and book those spaces early as reservations fill up, and there's just a lot of competition for them. But if you're just going to spend a day on your own, you either want to get out early, stay late. In the thick of the day, it's going to feel crowded. Ketchikan's a great city, but it's not a huge city. And lots of people are going to be at the same places. They're going out to the totem poles, they're going up to Creek Street, they're going to a salmon bake, they might be doing some gold mining, but it's an awful lot of people to accommodate. So get out there and get it done.
When you've got 6 cruise ships in town, it requires crossing guards even at the crosswalks. But don't let the crowd stop you. There's so much to see in this very fun city. Find your space, do your thing, enjoy your time. Whatever you decide to do here, we think you're going to like it. We leave you with views from the air and views from the sea.
Thanks for watching.
Take care.